closing the public comment period, return the item back to this board, and close the public hearing. And at this time, I will ask Supervisor Rutherford to make her statements.
Thank you. I just want to commend staff for all their research. I know I brought this up out of the blue several months ago, and it was great to have a very thorough report. And I've also enjoyed hearing so much from members of this community and people who do business in this community and want to do even more even though they don't live here. We have tremendous opportunity in this county, both for homegrown and for people who want to bring businesses to us. And this is an opportunity to do that. This is an opportunity to create jobs and create community and to build a different and varied culture in our county that is certainly big enough and broad enough to embrace that in many different ways. That said, it's not without its challenges. When you create a whole new business, there's a whole new set of regulations and inspections and communication, and there will be a steep learning curve and there will no doubt be growing pains. But I have every confidence that the professional staff we have in this county and in our cities are going to be able to tackle those problems, in part because everybody else in this state has already tackled them. We're not reinventing the wheel. We have the advantage of learning from everybody who's done this before and being able to start fresh with the latest, the newest, and the greatest. And that is going to be of tremendous benefit to our county. And I would therefore ask my colleagues to consider option number 3, lifting the ban completely and allowing this new segment of business to thrive in our county. And given the constraints on time, I will simply ask if there's support for that idea, and if not, we'll discuss other options, but let's just start there.
I would second that if it's a motion.
I'll move option 3.
Second.
I have a motion and I have a second. Is there opposition, comments?
I have some comments. I really, by going with option 3, we're really opening the floodgates, and we're limiting the ability of even our other local governments to regulate these. We basically would be opening the door on them. They would not, a city, most of us came from cities, would not be able to regulate them, or would have a great deal of difficulty regulating them in their cities. And I think it could create competition issues with brick and mortar. I think that's a legitimate concern if it's just the floodgates are just wide open. I'd much prefer the second option for the time being, and I would rather give it a test shot to see that it's working, and that it doesn't put the mom and pop brick and mortar out of business, and that we do address the issues related to sales tax collection and how those revenues would apply to cities. I think the last thing we really want is to create a situation where we have a lot of a new condition competing with the old condition, where the old condition actually puts sales tax revenue into the local city coffers or into the county's coffers directly through unincorporated areas, versus a sales tax generator that ends up going into the state and then percentages come back to the county, which then are shifted to cities and may have nothing to do with who's providing what service where. I have real concerns with that, and I don't think I'd support the third option. I would be supportive of the second option to open the doors, but that's where I'm coming down at this point.
Yeah, we certainly need to do more investigation of the sales tax. It sounds like it's terribly complicated, maybe a state formula that we can look into more. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Why don't you finish, Janice?
I was going to say, I think if we go with either 2 or 3, and 2 works for me as well, but either one of those, I think that we should refer this matter to Sandbag for discussion as the Council of Governments, so that all of the cities can have a venue where they can discuss how this has been done in other cities and other counties, share information, and work with our county staff as we begin to write new ordinances that they can all be coordinated in that manner. And I know we've all been eager to help the COG function with a good issue, and I think this is one that would lend itself to that discussion.
That is true.